Hello everybody and welcome to another Bitcoin technical analysis video. It's been a while since I posted a video. The holidays were a bit hectic for me, but now I'm back and I do plan on posting videos a little more often. I hope everyone had a happy new year and a Merry Christmas. In this video, I'm going to be looking at this current Bitcoin range we're in. It's a downward trending range a bit. You can see with lower highs, lower lows. It's a bit contracting as well. But in this video, I'm going to be pointing out a few levels that I'm looking to trade from and share those with you. I do share a lot of this in my Discord channel ahead of time, so go give that a look if you're interested in that. First off, I'll go ahead and point out this move down here, this very quick move down here. It's a bit similar to the moves here and right here. Now, with these moves to the downside or to the upside, but in this case it's to the downside, price likes to come back and revisit these areas because there's typically inefficiencies, market inefficiencies within those impulsive moves. You can see here, price came back to this level, and in this case, price came back to this level. So what I want to do is find a technical area and a technical reason for price to come back and revisit this area. You can already see that there was a bit of a revisit here, but I would say this was more of a swing failure pattern of this candle here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started looking for a technical reason to revisit this area. The way I like to start off is to look at the previous range. Now, I did say that we are in this overall kind of downtrending, contracting range. But within this range, you can see clearly there's this sideways moving price action right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fixed range volume profile from this first bit of buying interest here, and I'm just going to pull it to the end of the range, which I would say is about right here. So what you can see is that the point of control in the value area low of this range is actually right above this wick high here. So I'll just pull a box across. So anyone who shorted this area likely has their stop losses right above in there. And as many of you know, I like to trade off of these areas where stop losses are hit. After that, I'm going to go ahead and pull a fib off of this key high here. And I'm going to pull it all the way down to the low, this double bottom of this range. You can see it's perfectly in confluence with that point of control of the previous range. I'll go ahead and get rid of these boxes. Additionally, you can take a trend-based fib from this low to this high and back down to this low right here. And you get a trend-based fib extension right there in confluence with the golden pocket. That's what this is, the 618 and the 65. Now, if price actually moves down and takes out this low before moving up, then this is going to change. This would actually pull down here or wherever this goes to and might not be in confluence with anything. So just keep that in mind. But what I like to do is look at footprint charts, which I haven't covered. I haven't created any educational content for it yet. You don't necessarily need it for a lot of the strategies you might be developing, but I do like to look for it in confluence with the other technical areas. And you can see that there is buying imbalances, or stacked buying imbalances rather, right at this area. That means that shorts were just a lot more aggressive than longs were. And created this area where there's a high percentage of imbalance in the market. And price generally likes to come back and test these areas. Now, this is plenty of confluence here for me to want to take a trade off of. Really, I didn't need the trend-based fib extension, but additionally, you can take an anchored VWAP and I've been talking about VWAPs in my Discord channel, doing some VWAP education. And right here, just for example, you can anchor the VWAP to the top of this move here, and you can see that it has come down to being confluence with this area or this zone right here. But so as not to be so cluttered, I'm actually going to remove the VWAP. I'm going to remove the rectangle, and I'm just going to leave these Fibonacci's here. This is a lot cleaner of a look. So what I'm going to be looking for as or if price comes up here is a reaction off of this area or off of this zone. What I'm going to want to see is a lot of shorts being stopped out, and that would be a good entry for the trade. Now, this is a really significant resistance level. If price comes up here and bounces off, you can see right here that this is going to be a very obvious support resistance zone. So although I'm looking for a short trade off of this area, it's very possible that we squeeze through and then we flip this to support actually, and then you'll have this sort of under and over action right here. And I'll look at that as a sign of strength in the market, an early sign of strength, not too much, but right now this is the biggest resistance we're looking at. So if price comes up here, I'll be looking for a short here, and it's going to be based off the reaction and live time. I'm not just going to set any limit and just leave it. That's just uh, not how I trade. I want to see the reaction as it's happening. The stop loss is not determined yet, but I would like to take this trade down to about here, which is close to the point of control of this range here. See this? I like to take profits or exit trades completely at the point of control or around it, or at least a high volume node. But this is kind of a rough plan. As more data comes in, this can change a little bit, but right now this is what I'm looking at for a short from this level. To the downside, and I have gone over this level extensively for a very long time now, so you can go back, check Twitter, check Discord. I believe I went over it in a previous video, so I'm just going to show it here and very briefly go over it. There's this 886 from this low to this high, as you can see here. In confluence with that is a daily level, and you just take the daily level from the close of this candle to the open of this candle. So I'll go and anchor it back. Just to give you an example of how you can pull that again. Another example of a daily level is right here, where this green candle closes and this red candle opens. And I pull these where price has not yet come back to test. Additionally, there's on the 4-hour chart, there's an order block here, and these can be provide pretty good reactions. Let's go ahead and look at the volume here, relative volume in that area, just to get an idea. This order block isn't too much of a high relative volume order block, but it's an order block nonetheless. Now, this level can be a bit tricky because what you have here is a double bottom, relatively equal bottom here. And so I know there's going to be liquidity below these equal bottoms, somewhere below here. So if price comes down and you want to enter a long here at this level, be aware of where you're putting your stop loss. And target, not sure about a target yet. I need more data. But beware where you put your stop loss because you're likely going to put it right where I want it. Now, I would expect price to react off of this level, and that could provide a good long, but I'm not going to act like this is the bottom of the market and I'm going to long this to the moon. No, I'm going to be pretty aggressive with take profits if we get a good reaction off of this level, because really the better trade for me would be to take the liquidity down here and then move back up and continue ranging here. Now, of course, there's always the possibility that when we do move down here, we actually just squeeze downward. But for now, these are the levels I'm looking at to take my next kind of higher time frame trades as compared to scalping. So somewhere here, the target again, target and stop loss is to be determined after getting some more data. And then this one, I would want to take profits or exit the trade around the point of control of this range. Again, stop loss to be determined. Now, it doesn't matter which level is hit first. I do kind of have a little bit of a bullish bias here and would like this level to be hit first and then take this level. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because I'm going to trade both of them. All right, so this is the next kind of larger level to the upside and the downside. I'm going to get on the more lower time frame and look at some of the shorter term time frame trades I'm looking at. So I'll go ahead and remove these two levels, and let's see, I can remove this and I'll remove that. And I'll start looking at the current range. I'll go to the hour time frame. When looking at trading a current range, I always like to use the fixed volume range profile. It's always very helpful for determining my risk management, and I like to take profits at the point of control. But after looking at the volume profile, I want to identify where the liquidity is. First, I noticed that we've made this kind of you can kind of call it a series of lower highs. You can also kind of say this is pretty close to equal highs right here. It's kind of a zone of equal highs or a zone of resistance. So I know that traders who are shorting these areas, all of this zone right here, have their stop losses somewhere above there. So that's what I want to take out. I want to take out those stop losses and then head lower. So what I'm going to be looking for is a move above this level and then back into the range. Now we might continue lower, or we might go right back up, but right now I just want to look for a move into that liquidity and a move back down. So what I want to do is look for a technical level in that area that I can take a trade off of. Right here, I can take a trend-based fib extension from this low here to this high here, which is, I would say, is the high of this kind of mini range here. Now, we do have this area, but I still, just from experience and intuition, I really think that this is the better pull right here. So we have a one-to-one extension here. Additionally, after looking at some footprint charts, there are very high stacked selling imbalances in this area. So definitely, I'm going to be looking to this area as a resistance area and an area to actually enter a trade from. There's a weekly naked VWAP up here, but that's a little bit out of confluence with these other areas. So right now, I'm going to be looking at this area, and you can see that you've got the stacked selling imbalances, you have the one-to-one extension, and you have the value area high of the range. So what I would like to see is a move to take these shorts out and then right back in and do some sort of ranging action maybe, or just move straight back down to this 15K7 level I was talking about. Doesn't really matter. Right now, I just want to take that liquidity. Additionally, you can see that we're making a series of higher lows here. So there's going to be liquidity below there. But also, you have this series of higher lows on a little bit higher time frame, and so there's going to be liquidity down there, which makes this 15K7 level even better. I'll go ahead and I'll remove this white vector. So that's how I'm going to be looking to trade this range currently. It's definitely possible that we squeeze straight through this level. In the case that we squeeze straight through, there's no trade to be taken. Remember, I take trades in the moment. I watch the reaction at the exact time that the level is hit to determine whether we're going to squeeze through or we're actually going to bounce off. So we can definitely squeeze straight through and then head for this 19K1 area. But for a shorter time frame, this 17K2 I think is going to provide uh, a good bit of resistance. And then down below, I can come up with more technical levels kind of inter-range. But first, I want more data. So if we do something like this, put in a high, then I can start pulling some more Fibonacci's and start looking for technical levels in the inter-range zone. That's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching. If you would like to get more trading information, if you'd like to learn more, figure out how I come up with these technical levels, whatever it is, come chat with me in my Discord channel. I'll put the link in the description below.